multiple currency equilibrium. And that's the trajectory. I think it will be very interesting to see what the Chinese government decides to do, because, given the U.S.-China competition background, the fact that the U.S. stablecoin will simply reinforce the dollar dominance, whilst the Chinese have been making huge endeavors to internationalize RMB, they will. I think it is a real possibility that they will do an RMB back to stablecoin. But to Edward's point, there will be challenges. Although I think the dollar RMB exchange rate had been relatively stable in the last few years. I don't know if that's an assumption that can continue. But the fact that this can also accelerate. Well, some in China believe that it can accelerate the usage of RMB because of the convenience, the real-time payments, and so on. But we have to see. Yeah.
Jeff? Well, I would emphasize again that if there is a decline in the use of the dollar as a reserve currency, not vehicle, but as a reserve currency, it will almost certainly because of the inconsistencies and questions about American economic policy. At this point, although it's hard to say exactly where we stand today, there is something of a contradiction between the administration's position on the domestic implications of the role of the dollar and its international implications. That hasn't been resolved. It may not be resolved. If those contradictions grow, then I think confidence in the dollar will decline. So I think the dominant role of the U.S. dollar is America's to lose.
Why the dollar's global role is threatened is because China does not want to depend on the US dollar-based global financial system, neither in terms of its payment system nor in terms of capital markets. So what we are seeing, first of all, and actually as economists we are going to suffer because we can no longer measure the share of the yuan in global payments by using the SWIFT data, the messaging system that the correspondent banking system uses. For the reason that Keiyu mentioned, there is this concern that through SWIFT, America can monitor these transactions. So China created its own payment system, the SIPS, which has an inbuilt messaging system. Now, of course, in the transition period, they have been using SWIFT, but more and more of the transactions that happen in yuan will be outside of that measurement metric that we use, which is the SWIFT payments. I think also what's really important is to realize that when it comes to the dollar's role as a medium of exchange, a key factor here is the tech revolution in global payments. One of the reasons why dollars are held in terms of the medium of exchange role is the inefficiency of the global payment system. The fact that it takes days for the dollars to travel through the correspondent banking system, so banks and central banks need to hold it for a liquidity reason. And with the arrival of stable coins, but also much more importantly, central bank digital currencies, that will revolutionize global payments. And it will be near instantaneous at a fraction of the cost. So over time, that would really erode the need and threaten the use of the dollar as a medium of exchange.
It's a really simple answer. There's unrelenting demand from corporations and institutional investors, and that's colliding with severely limited supply. The Bitcoin network only produces 450 Bitcoin per day. Yesterday alone, Bitcoin ETFs bought 10,000 Bitcoin. This institutional investment into Bitcoin is a one-time event. It's going to take years to play out. But I think over the course of those years, there's going to be this persistent bid where there's more demand than there is supply. And the natural response to that is what we're seeing in the market, which is Bitcoin's price goes higher. I think it has a long way to go. I think it could end the year closer to 200,000. So I would get used to this story of new all-time highs.
That international partnership is built on common and mutual interests. And when you take a look at the number of countries that are part of the Belt and Road Initiative, this is in itself a testament of the importance. Just last year, we were in China celebrating the 10th year anniversary. And it was an opportunity for the different countries to present the projects that are on the Belt and Road Initiative. These projects, when you take a look at them, have promoted sustainable infrastructure, be it transportation, be it renewable energy, be it in terms of ports. So each project for every country, and that was what was presented, and Egypt is not an exception in this. It is consistent with national agenda, and it's consistent with the national strategic goals. So when you talk about accelerators with respect to pushing these projects, we can say that the Belt and Road Initiative has been, in many instances, an accelerator for pushing forward the national strategies.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. Also, go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And we have China challenging the dollar. Now, we know if we stayed in fiat, China would have no chance. But because we're going to digital money, only thing I have to do with a push of a button, they can mint trillions. And they're discussing this at the World Economic Forum. And guess what? We get no news. Out of sight, out of mind. So we're going to have the two currencies battle out. United States dollar and the Chinese yuan. And the dollar is still going to hold some power. But if you look at the Western countries, they stand no chance against the BRICS just by looking at population. And while the mainstream media is pointing to Bitcoin, letting you know all-time highs, they don't let you know the serious events that are going on globally. And that's the Belt and Road. And eventually the two countries have to collide. And we have Trump bringing it up for a reason. He's telling you about the BRICS. Everything else he tells us about, it goes viral. But when it comes to the BRICS, we hear it one time, and then it goes behind the curtain. And this is where the supply chain is going to become so important. Because we clearly see Trump is isolating China. But look at all the countries that China has for when it comes to trading. And also, China has been loaning money the same way the United States did. And when these major countries couldn't get loans, and all of a sudden China gives them loans, especially as we can see in Africa, and these BRICS nations are about to rise in the fourth industrial revolution, who's going to benefit? That's right, China. And that's the reason why China is keeping that mainland private and using Hong Kong as the straw man. And Belt and Road probably won't be in full effect until 2033. But just remember, this is a plan. It moves in phases. And that plan starts in 2026. The BRICS are ready to flip the switch on this fourth industrial revolution, where the robots, algorithms, and drones take the economy over, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. And remember, the Crypto Teacher tells you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
12 years on since China's announcement of BRI, we have signed an agreement of cooperation with 150 countries and 30 international organizations. So can you give us a summary of the development of BRI of the past 12 years? What's the contribution to the world economic development? Thank you. Thank you. In 2013, President Xi announced BRI. Since then, with the joint efforts of all stakeholders, co-building of BRI has been translated from philosophy to actions, from vision to reality. We have achieved pragmatical and remarkable results, contributing to the friendship among participating countries and economic and social development of all these countries. I have the following comments to make. First, it contributes to interconnectivity of the whole world. A new pattern has been identified. BRI is committed to building economic corridors so as to enhance ICT expressways to be reinforced by railways, roads, pipelines, airports, and seaports so as to enhance connectivity of the whole world. For example, China-Lao Railway has been in smooth operation for 3 years, carrying more than 60 million tons of cargo, turning Lao into a country of better connectivity. And new channels have also been opened up for the cargo trains between China and Europe. Nowadays, we have 110,000 trains connecting China with over 229 destinations in Europe. As a result, we have also contributed to liberalization and facilitation of world commerce and trade. We have entered a new era of opening up, making the world economic globalization more inclusive and mutually beneficial, according to the World Bank's research report on BRI. Co-building of BRI will increase the trade engagement of the participating countries, increase by 4.1% by 2030. Co-building of BRI will create $1.6 trillion of additional value for the world economy. Secondly, we have also contributed to the improvement of people's livelihood along the Belt and Road. By upholding the Silk Road spirit, we focus on job creation, poverty relief, better livelihood. A large number of small yet smart projects have been implemented for that purpose. For example, Tianjin has taken an initiative to promote Luban workshops in more than 100 participating countries, cultivating over 60,000 high-skilled personnel.
The first one is there even a ladder? The way we've known organizations structured, pyramidal, does that even exist in the future? Today we're talking with some clients about having a ratio of managers to employee of 1 to 100 because AI could help you tackle some of the talent tasks that humans have done historically, measuring someone's skills, recommending them a course, finding projects for them. Turns out a lot of these tasks are better suited for AI to figure out than for a human.
Right.
And so maybe the future of the organization is flat, it's not pyramidal. And maybe it creates more opportunities for newcomers to come and bring fresh perspective. Now, if I look at entry-level hiring and people joining the workforce, I think it's one of the toughest job market that we've ever seen. Understanding the context is important. Companies, you said it earlier, are not likely hiring. Some people are saying even downsizing over time. They're not backfilling roles. And if they're hiring, they're probably hiring in AI, which has low supply of skills in the market. They just can't find enough people with those skills. Or they're hiring for jobs that people don't want to do. Gen Zs don't want to do certain jobs that are highly needed in the economy. So from both perspectives, it's sort of broken.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go, but clearly we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books, It's Time to Re-Educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.